All right. Good morning, Teacher Anna.
Good
Hey,
morning, teacher. Teacher talaga, ah.
kakabit na ng pangalan ko. Oo.
Oh,
Wherever I go. It's nice to see you this morning.
yes, nice to see you. Kamusta na, teacher? Ano
Okay
ang
na.
pinaggagawa mo dyan?
Madami. Walang tigil. Although I've been doing everything, all of them at home. So I haven't been to the workshop since not until yesterday. But
Talaga?
not until yesterday. It's just a few minutes away. Walking distance pa nga. But
Oo.
the kids have been home since nabitin ang school, no, I try to make it a point that I'm around them. And plus, it also did not, I gusto ko maging quarantined with the world. Nakikisama ako. Mag-quarantine din ako sa bahay.
Na-miss
Oo.
na ni Raish yung mga classes mo eh. So, ano ba? Are you going digital or what's your point of view ba on this?
Well, with regard to that, I'm waiting it out. I think is the best way to describe it. I know that in a recent post in Instagram, a lot were assuming that I would not be open to doing it, but I think it's not that. Uh But I think for this in this case, I will just have to
Siya.
first of all learn the ano learn how it all goes, so
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
just so that it's easier for me to be able to deliver the same quality of classes that I would usually give in person. So that's the most important. That's what's most important to me
Yeah.
right now. So I since I'm not yet so savvy with technology, I don't want to simply, and I've been practicing through I've been practice ito.
Oo.
Practice, oh, di ba? Magandang practice.
Oo, yes.
Hindi, pero nagpa-practice ako through giving workshops and like yung mga review classes for those who've taken the classes. And then
Okay.
yan. So I have a feel of like how many students I would only need to be able to make it a quality, class. Yun. So
Okay.
yeah, eventually I'm still thinking of or designing a format that would work best for me. I think
Okay.
that's uh
Ano ba so wait, we'll just acknowledge si Leah Hi daw. Right, Teacher Anna.
Lia Abayon.
Leah.
Hello.
So, so you're maybe siguro what are the things you plan to teach ba online? The soap making, what else?
Ah, well, that's the other thing. I'm also trying to figure out kung if it's the same classes that
Mm-mm.
same classes that I had are the same classes that I should have also online. This will entail for me to prepare siguro kasi a lot of materials if it's going to be
Yeah.
the same classes. Maraming mga yung mga yung mga screen, mga flash sa screen, maraming mga siguro demo videos that I have to show,
Mm-hmm.
especially since I'll be limited. Wala naman akong cameraman dito na pwedeng sumunod-sunod. Eh, di ba malikot ako magturo? Eh, galaw ako ng galaw.
It's all over.
Oo, malimit meron akong pipick up saka tapos kailangan ko pang yun ang mga napapansin ko ngayon. So I have to figure that part out. So I was thinking siguro I have to prepare a lot of videos ahead of time, notes ahead of time because it doesn't work out when I'm trying to write on the whiteboard and then flashing it like that. So marami dun sa mga the things that made my classes very relatable and charming and old school. I think we'll have to also adjust so that it suits this kind of medium. I'm sure it can be done. Hindi ko lang gusto
It will be
i-rush.
fun.
Oo. Oo. The students so far are very forgiving when I do the review classes.
Oo.
Pinagtsatsagaan naman nila yung ano, malinaw naman yung mga tinuturo ko pero yun lang yung focus kasi there's a screen that I have to be conscious of. So
Mm.
yun. Yeah,
Yeah.
but the classes, that's also something that I have to think of which classes um to teach if ever I do it online.
Oo. Sa tingin
Mm.
mo, because you guys run a school also, no? Run a
Yes,
school?
yes,
So,
headstand. Mm-mm.
is it the same uh,
Uh,
problems or challenges you're
uh,
facing?
yes. But yes and no. I think the same it would be the same goals also for the school to be able to deliver the lessons in the way that we are used to the school is used to delivering. So the school admin now and the school head is just making sure that a lot of the different ways that we were able to reach the children, have them understand the lessons that they will be able to
Mm-hmm.
do. And I saw the program. I mean, just the initial plans that they
Mm-hmm.
had posted about it, and me as a parent now, because I used to be very active in the admin, but now I'm assuming the role of parent. I'm very happy with so far how what it's gonna look like next year. Well,
Okay.
wala rin tayong choice eh. We all have to adjust, 'di
Mm-hmm.
ba?
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Let's start the
Ito
conversation.
na.
Ito na.
Good.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for here talking to us, and thank you, all right. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to our awesome live chat with Teacher Anna. And we're broadcasting
Anton, I
here.
cannot hear.
Sorry. Hello. Can you hear us? Can you hear me? So, wait. We can hear you, but you cannot hear us. So, we're broadcasting here live in Laguna. And Teacher Anna is in Antipolo.
Wala
Uh,
raw.
wala. Walang audio. So we'll figure that out. So welcome to Leah, Jacqueline,
Chinky!
Chinky,
Kilala mo
Girly.
si teacher?
I cannot hear you.
Yes, yes.
Wait.
Maybe can you unmute the ano lang?
Can you hear us?
Can you
Can you
hear
hear us?
us?
Wala.
Nawala. Rejoin na lang, rejoin. You can rejoin actually.
Wala pa.
Wala.
Message with teacher.
Message. Wala.
Wait.
Um, okay. So, good morning. We're just fixing the audio. Maybe can you rejoin na lang? Rejoin or mute and mute. Yeah. All right. Good morning. So, if you have any questions, maybe join us for the discussion with Teacher Anna. Sino ba si Teacher Anna?
Teacher Anna is our teacher who taught soap making, and she teaches a lot of parang DIY teacher siya. Yung mag VCO, how to extract VCO, bombs, and everything. So, dun na relieve yung passion ko to do DIY.
Saan niya usually?
Her workshop is in Antipolo. So if you want to wala nang classes ngayon eh. So we'll just tune into her IG and see what she makes every day.
Very
Ayan.
Yeah.
good.
Yes.
Yan na nga. Yung pinag-uusapan natin kanina eh. Oo.
Kung kailan live.
Uh,
Kung kailan. Ang ganda na ng kwentuhan natin kanina.
uh, so maybe for some of the audience watching in the replay or watching live, maybe you can share us. Paano ba, how did you start with all this handmade with love, and how did you become very passionate about making handmade products?
Okay. This started about this is actually my 19th year. So
Wow.
um straight out of college, I was supposed to pursue medicine.
Ah,
And yes, oo. So we just my partner and I had just finished our very successful
engineer ka?
thesis. Oo, and then it entailed a lot of going to the laboratory, doing a lot of research. And I never thought that I would really enjoy it as much as I did. And then for some reason around that time also, just right before I was to think about accepting yung mga acceptance letters sa atin ng mga med school, nagkaroon ako bigla ng
Natural.
parang nagbago yung direction. Yon. And then I really had to make time to think about about what next, because I did not want to get into medicine half-heartedly or without
Mm.
any. I don't think it's something that you do, eh. 'Di ba? It's a lifelong commitment. But definitely also I discovered the love for research and for experimenting and just really hands-on working. So that's how that went. And then during that time, I had come upon a kit that had all these ingredients for making lip balm. And not all of these were natural. Not all of the things in the kit were natural. It came with a book. So, nung naubos na yung ano, ginagawa ko lang siya pangtanggal ng anxiety ko, and it was working. Parang okay to yung may
Working.
kinakalingkot ka, oo, and you kind of relax in the process. So, when I used up all my materials, I was researching on all the other materials that I could use and found myself seeing that mas available ang synthetics. But then I realized also this is not something I can use after, because I'm highly allergic. Actually, I have I have very troublesome, even my children got it, mabilis mag-allergy, lahat mabilis pagdating sa skin. So marami akong hindi ako pwedeng
Gamitin.
mag-perfume noon. Oo, yan. So, so then I realized, well, if I make something, if I'll pursue something, might as well something that I can personally use. I never thought of it as a business. And I had been very lucky that in my youth, I had been sort of, hanging out with um, certain people who I would look up to as a mentor. It was never formal mentoring, but I saw her earlier. She said hi. Si Chinky, her grandfather. Um,
Chinky.
Yeah.
Chinky Kope, yes. Yes,
Yeah.
her
What?
yes. Nye. Hindi ah. But Chinky's grandfather Lolo Tik was also a very dear friend of mine, and he was an herbologist, very
Oh,
knowledgeable.
Chinky!
So he would sometimes invite us over, family friends. So there were a few times that I would be able to hang out with Lolo Tik, and then he would teach me, certain yung lemongrass bug bible. Dedicated sa kanya yan. Wala pang wala pang ibang
Oh.
nagawa na is as effective. I just tweak certain things, but it's basically something I learned from him. So I just pursued that, and well, I never really thought it would be something I'd really dive into, um, like the way that it is now. I ran our family school also at the same time. I was doing it on the side pang pa-relax din. Yon. And then I saw that it was something that people look for, either to use or people want to learn how. So
Mm-mm.
there, that's just how things happen. 19 years na.
Wow. How did the soap making happen naman?
The
You
soap
started.
making class. Um,
How did you learn how to make soaps and
oh,
to get
on
into that?
on my own actually. Wala pa nun mga nagtuturo. Hindi pa mga how many years ago? Kung 19, siguro mga 17 years ago nagsimula yung
Wow.
soap. And I have I had I self-studied, pero marami akong mga the best teachers are always the mistakes. The failed batches. Oo, yun. And then I just began teaching it, I think 6 years ago. Just 6 years ago.
Ah, recently
6
lang.
years ago ba?
Oo, oo, 6 years lang,
Uh,
2000 and tama, oo,
oh,
tama.
okay.
2015 or 2014, I think, oo.
Yes.
Around that time,
All
yun.
right. Yes.
Mm.
So we wanted to acknowledge the mindful makers.
Kasama ako dyan.
Kasama. So bakit mindful makers ang ano, ang
Hindi, wala
pangalan?
yan.
Oo.
That's the group we made. Kasi
I,
students kami ni teacher.
yeah,
So,
student
dyan,
initiated, no?
yeah,
Oo. It's a
student.
student initiated group actually, Anton. Sila para they can help each other. It's actually a very good initiative on the end of the students. Minsan siguro nahiya magtanong sa akin kaya sila na ano, mas madaling magtanong sa kaklase.
Oo.
Ka- Kala ni Anton, fans club. Pwede rin.
Pero where did you get the passion? Like for example, if you're making soap, talagang the best quality soap out there. Where did
Lip
you get that
balms, lotion.
passion?
Kasi ano, how much passion can you have for soap, no? Parang, bakit sobra? I think,
Nakita mo yung...
it's just really a new thing, but it's not very different from people who are so passionate with cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Like people who are so passionate, like my brother now is so passionate with his bread making. So talagang all out, and people who are now making, all this really, lalo na ngayong quarantine, marami silang time to, I think when you have little successes, and little discoveries, it just really, increases your passion just a little bit more. And then you
Mm-hmm.
discover something else, and then you just don't want to stop because there's always room for doing better. So that's
Mm-hmm.
how it is with the soap and with me. Sometimes there was a time I was embarrassed to say that I'm very passionate with soaps because 'di ba parang why? Ang
Mm-hmm.
tingin lang dati sa soap pang lalo pag ang mga kausap ko dati, yung mga tito, tita ko na 'di
Sapon
ba
lang
magpa
yan, or what?
oo, anong pass niyan? But it really helped when I began teaching because there were other people now who I could share it with and who understand the obsession that you get to be able to create the right kind that you need or what you're looking for, diba? So yeah, and then I think we fuel each other also, like when they discover new things, and it's something I've not discovered, it makes me, really excited to try it out, and vice versa. Yun.
Okay. For those watching the replay, we'll share the Instagram, your Instagram, and maybe can you walk us through your Instagram? So your official Instagram is this, no?
Body food.
Body food, all natural.
Yes, yes. So, the highlights are actually a new thing. I started with Instagram just as a way to be able to document things that I've been doing, not really as a store. And
Ah,
also bago pang Instagram nun, I started with it just posting things that I've made. And then every time tatanungin ako because your soaps have a curing time. Kailan nga ito mag-cure? Titignan ko Instagram. Para siyang notebook.
Journal, di
ah,
ba? Parang
Journal
diary.
dati, oo. Ano nga yung ginawa ko? Ano nga ito? Yung mga gano'n, no? But then later on, I realized people have been watching and they've liked the process and they really enjoyed when I cut the soaps. I used to just cut the soaps for my own
Oo.
pleasure.
Ito.
Oo. Yeah, yung mga ganyan na mga cutting, di ba? And some people have different, comments to me. They would tell me na nare-relax daw silang panoorin. Yung iba naman ang weirdohan. Bakit parang what's the fuss with the cutting? Parang may seremonyas ka pa yatang mag-cut. But I think it's just that since this whole process of soap making is a very can be a very meditative thing. Even the cutting, Anton, is so precious. Parang gusto mo dahan-dahan ka lang. Gusto mo talagang, ayan, kita mo, 'di ba, score ko dahan-dahan.
Para
But
equal.
are equal. But if you notice, I have very basic materials. It's something that I committed myself to. I'm only using a knife. I don't use soap molds. I've been using the same old freezer plastic container na ano yata siya eh. Basta it's the usual plastic container that you would use for your raw meat in the freezer na medyo malaki. And I've been using that for years over and over because there's part of what I want to happen here is that as I make healthier options, I am also kind of encouraging people to be more eco-friendly.
And to reduce
So, less materials. I put all of kumbaga, ang investment lahat nandun sa loob ng sabon. Ingredients, essential
Mhm.
oils, the right ones, the best ones, yun. But with the materials mismo, naku, basic na basic lang.
Okay.
Oo.
Pero during this COVID times, are there specific ingredients you might want to use, or did you produce any product
I
specific
did,
for?
yes.
Yes,
I
like what?
I
Maybe
actually
we can show
did.
us.
The having the review classes would get me in the mood at least to make, how, of course, all these not so good news online would make you just put you off the mood to do anything, right?
Uh-uh.
And really seeing other people really trying to overcome it by being busy doing other things, I think it's just really one of those more encouraging things for creative work like this, for other people who are trying to do creative work, to see that other people are trying to rise above the all the troublesome
Oo.
news that you would hear. So um when I would do my reviews also, then I would have to make. And then after that, parang gaganahan ako, I will make another batch after the class. So I've made a few, and of course, since I cannot buy, and I cannot, like, my supplier from Batangas, this small time farmer that I get beeswax from, hindi siya maka-deliver sa akin. So, then I'd have to adjust around that and see what are locally available, here in my area. So it was actually very good exercise of resourcefulness. Kung anong meron, yun. Kung anong dahon dyan ang pwedeng i-harvest. O, alamin kung ano yan, aralin, 'di ba? See if
Oh.
there's anything that it can do for you. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing this
So, ano nagawa mo, Teach?
So nakagawa ako ng those were the soaps that I recently posted.
So,
I made
okay.
the manzanilla soap because the manzanilla is very popular, no? It's a popular product of body food. But I made a version of it with soap. And then I have so much lemongrass right now. I made lemongrass soap. Um, and then I was also making the more antibacterial ones. They're not very fancy in a way na they're the relaxing ones, or they're the more luxurious soaps, but I also wanted to be able to create something that would be that I
Basic.
could. Oo. At saka this one get started, I wanted to donate to one of the students who was donating to a hospital.
Oh.
So I had to create something that would, maybe help clean better. Yon.
Oh.
So, mga ganun.
Antibacterial
Ah,
ingredient.
lemongrass.
Lemongrass.
Oh,
Usually,
pero
antibacterial is lemongrass, gano'n?
Hindi,
no,
hindi na.
no.
Marami.
This Oo, yung sa mga antibacterial, I was using what I had of thyme. I had also yan mga ginger, the usual spices that are also
Mm.
used for antibacterial properties. But really, more than the making, a lot of it was used for studying and reading again.
Mhm.
I really just made a few soaps than what I would usually make pag kunyari nearing Christmas season around June. Yeah, that's the time that I'll be making blocks and blocks of soap. But this quarantine period, I just really also wanted to pace myself and give myself time to read up again, research
Mhm.
again,
Yes.
uh, see what
How
you
about
were.
how about mga mask? Do you do mga mask?
Ah,
Girly stuff.
mga embroidered, no, na mga mask. Oo,
Brother
kasi
niya yun.
because what really calms me down is keeping my hands busy. And it's
Mm.
just so much more effective for me to think when I am doing something else with my hands. Kaya hindi ako makanood masyado ng ng what's this, yung mga K-drama.
Crash
Kailangan ko basahin.
landing, oo.
Kailangan ko basahin. Nagkasakit lang ako nung earlier part. So I had to, rest. And that's the only time I got to watch it. But otherwise, after that, di ako makanood. Kasi kailangan ko basahin. Eh, paano ako
Oo.
babasa pang nagtatahi ako? But yeah, the mask was something that I discovered. Si Kate, she said hi earlier. She gave me a pattern that I loved so much. Except that I had to scale it down and adjust it a bit. Kasi malaki pang American size yung pattern na nabigay niya sa akin. But it really inspired me to create the pattern I'm using now. Ang laki, magaganyan talagang face mask. Pati
I saw
mata.
it nga. Teach, I saw it. Screen cap it so I can also use that pattern.
The pattern, yes, yes, oo. But and I know of course that the masks that I made are not like the mga N95 mga masks, no. But they're just really something fun to use. You can use it over a surgical mask for extra
Yes.
protection. Oh, tsaka para masaya naman yung nakikita pag suot-suot. Yeah, so that's just a hobby. That's how I've been spending my days.
Mga
So
balm stitch, nakagawa ka, 'di ba may incense ka, ang dami mong naga
katol.
yes,
I
nakatotoo.
I'm very lucky with my staff. We're just a staff of three. Si Kuya Ting at saka si they had themselves quarantined with me. So start pa lang, they stayed. So they were able to keep making the katol kasi dati yan.
Hmm.
Ayoko na ibang gagawa. Gusto ko sila lang yung magha-harvest, sila yung tinuruan ko na mag-dry, pero gusto ko ako yung gagawa lahat. Eh, natuklasan ko, mas magaling si Kuya Ting mag-compress. Nanginginig na yung kamay ko kasi masyado hands-on ako. Diba? Sabi ko, sige, I will let you do that part. So, I do it with them. And then, yeah, we made bombs also because there was a huge order of bombs during the quarantine.
I
I think
saw that big pails.
yes, 60 liters. So, yun. So that was actually we planned it out for about a month and a half kung kailan kami gagawa ng BCO, kailan kami magtutunaw ng beeswax. So there was a schedule that we followed kasi I wanted it to also be very just really well paced yung production namin since it's just us. There's nobody else but us making it. Mm-mm.
Oh, galing. At least may katulong ka at na-quarantine rin sila diyan.
Oo. I actually gave them the choice if they wanted to go home, but I did tell them that I wasn't sure kung kailan ulit pwedeng
Ba-
mag-travel back and forth.
Mhm.
And siguro I'm just really I'm just really lucky with them and really blessed with them that they opted to stay and continue helping me out. Yun. Kasi sanay ako, Anton, na ako lang eh. Ako lang gumagawa. Oo, it was just
Oo.
really that I took on people to help me with this. But I would do everything. Yung mga dati, di ba, yung nag-help sa atin sa classes, Rachel, were
Oo.
mga kasama ko sa bahay. They weren't really with food. So it's
Mhm.
just really last year that I had Lin May and well, my driver now, he helps me out.
And you're selling them through the Instagram
Yes, online lang.
online
Online
lang?
everything.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, I used to way back I did consignment with shops, and then recently also last year I did some of that.
Mhm.
It goes well, but my problem kasi is my items are also heavy on explanation, no? So
Mm.
it becomes very difficult for another person to explain it, and at the same time they're all natural. There's a certain way you should keep them to keep them good. And pag
Yeah.
nakalagay lang, nakastock sa mga shelves and you're not sure kung
Baka
kunin,
naarawan.
yun, mga ganon.
Mm.
Alam na alam ni Rachel, oh.
Oo, I attend her tea parties, 'di ba? May date talaga 'yan. May date tapos we will really go if we're available.
Ah,
Oo.
galing,
Yun.
ah. But
Yeah.
how was it during the quarantine? Did the people buy more or the same lang?
Surprisingly, because how long have we been quarantined? March, no?
Two
Mm,
and a
2 months.
half.
Before March, there were so many people who bought. So many, parang panic buying.
Mhm.
I think
Oh,
because one thing is when you're used already a certain kind of soap, it
yeah,
becomes very difficult to adjust to go back to commercial.
definitely.
And it's not just arte, Anton. It's really talaga inexplain kay Anton. It's really how much healthier and diba, you feel. So
'Di
there
ba?
were a lot. I think they were concerned na baka nga mahirap bumili. So that's why a lot were buying. I really sold out on so many things before the quarantine, the lockdown. And
Parang
then,
tissue paper.
oo, oo,
Nauubusan.
ubos ang mga soap and the hand sanitizers. And I don't make too big a batch. It's really
Oo.
just, tama lang. And ubos. And then nung nag-quarantine na, nung pwede na nang mag-deliver ulit, we would do it like once a week. Kasi there was a time na 3 times a week kami mag-ship. We did it once a week. And then and it still went very well. But this last month I decided to stop totally the store. Because I
Ah,
wanted,
why?
ano na yan, mga kaartehan na yan. Oo, hindi. No, I wanted to indulge myself with time to think about what's going on, what I should do next. Nag-emote muna ako. O, inisip ko noon, kailangan ko ba mag-online? Kailangan ko ba, kasi parang hindi pa ako ready, mga ganon, mga type of thinking. And it gave
Okay.
me some time to study also. Yeah.
Okay.
And of
Yun.
course, with your three boys. Four
And with,
pala, four, 'di ba?
hindi
How was
naman,
it?
okay, I think we have had enough of each other already. I know I love my boys dearly, but I think also they've had enough of mommy. It goes the other way around.
This is too much.
Yes, the studying, finishing school was a struggle only because it was an adjustment. So I was able to give that more attention by stopping the shop also for a while, although that wasn't the primary reason. And then also getting them used to the the routine kasi hindi kami pwede mamasyal. Summertime, 'di ba usually pasyalan
Mm.
yan. Sanay din sila na bastang na bumibisita sa mga grandparents pero wala none of that now. So yun that's how that was. And so I would have my ingredients sent to my house, brought to my house. I'd give a list to Miss Lynn May, and then she'd prepare it, and I would do the making here in my porch, because this was anyway the original space for body food. It's just I transferred it there talagang totally and officially last year, but before production was all done here from the home. Mm-mm.
So may
Yun.
sampayan.
Oo, yan. May mga sampayan dyan.
Oh,
Yan,
di
sa
ba?
yun, doon sa dulo doon. May
Doon.
sampayan. Oo, but those are things I like. I like taking photos of simple things like that.
Yeah.
Sampayan, mga kung ano-anong usually hindi na-appreciate. Di ba? Or itatago mo pag may mga photographs. Yun naman ang gusto kong picturean. Mga
That's nice.
kanya-kanyang pang-aliw during
Oo,
quarantine.
kanya-kanya. So
Oo.
nice.
So,
Ayun na, little boy.
Yeah.
a little boy. So, we have 4 boys. So, ganun din.
5. Di ba? I have 5, you have 4.
Yeah. I share the space with my husband because he's also working from home. So, and he works with
Kid.
children with special needs. Yes. So sa online minsan kaya nga sabi ko naku maingay ba siya ngayon, baka naririnig yung boses nung asawa ko habang nag-uusap tayo. But a lot of times pag nagbi-video ako, maririnig niyo rin yung boses niya nagtuturo. Rinig sa buong bahay na ano yung kanyang mga ginagawa.
Oo.
Yan.
All right. Thank you, teacher. So, what's next? What's next for you sa pagmuni-muni mo? Oh, what's next?
Well, I opened the shop again. I reopened yesterday, and
Ah,
so that was something to look forward to for me. Parang feeling ko New Year ulit. And then I'm just trying to really be very much more tech savvy now, so that I can make the most out of the features of Instagram, and not just may stories kasi pala that you can take advantage of, highlights, mga ganyan. Eh, nun post lang nila ng post para makita kung kailan ko ba ginawa itong sabon na to. So I'm relearning that, and it's a good thing because I've been listening to some short lessons on how to use social media better, how to and some podcasts also that it seems to be will be very beneficial for how things will be for me. So as of now, classes, of course, yung face-to-face classes will not push through until such a time na pwede na, and probably when we do talagang one-on-one lang, 2 by 2 ganyan. But I'm also studying online because there are some people who I promised I would learn, I would do it with, but I said one-on-one muna. But the shop continues. I still will be making. I cannot stop because some homes have already become have really been using the products already
Yeah.
as their staples at home. So there are also old women who are waiting always for VCO that we make. So I cannot just medyo may responsibility to keep making.
Oo.
Oo, yun. Yan yung mga pinalusot ko lang nung 1 month na nagmuni-muni ako. Pag dali na sa akin, yung mommy ko kasi, sige na nga. Yan. Yung anak ko kasi, sige na nga. Ayun. But I'm happy to do that naman. I'm really glad that it's well received like that. Oo.
oh,
Oo.
nice, nice. That's good. That's good to hear. And I think a lot of people needs to. There's a lot of people learning how to communicate well digitally these days. And okay naman yung Instagram mo, ah. Okay naman.
Talaga, oo. Ano yan, so maximum effort yan, Anton.
Ganda.
Yeah, it's really nice. And maganda kasi with Instagram if it's reflects your actual personality. So I think it's quite reflected in the Instagram. No?
That's good to know.
Oo. And then next level yung ano na online classes.
Turuan mo ako kasi ikaw yatang expert sa mga
Yes,
ganyan.
oo. I think your internet naman is holding eh.
Oh yeah, that was one thing na in the past I was concerned about, but it seems like it is it's
Oo.
doing ano naman pretty well. Yeah. Here.
Oo.
Oo.
Kasi
Mm.
we're streaming for 40 minutes na
Maayos naman.
maayos naman.
I think
Very
for
important.
Oo, I'm at an advantage because I'm on top of a hill. So wala masyadong mga harang. But
Distraction.
yeah, pero yung mga na along the street of the subdivision most have a lot of obstructions, malalaking mga trees. So talagang hirap makakuha ng internet minsan in this part of Antipolo.
Oo.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I'm really lucky. Oo.
Okay. Maybe to end our discussion lang, do you have any final thoughts or messages to the mindful makers or to people who are considering to kasi this
Yeah.
homemade trend will continue. This handmade trend will continue.
Yeah.
Uh, it changed our whole lives forever na. Um, and our situation of quarantine will persist until next year. So maybe final message, Sugar, or final thoughts.
I think I would agree. It's quite a trend right now, but it would really be great if it weren't just a trend. It would become a way of life. I sent a message before on my Instagram to those who used to be students. Now, they've learned how to make certain things that they need at home. Go ahead and make them, because this is the best time. If it's not for business, it's for the homes, and I think that's a really good reason to be hand making. So if it could be a way of life rather than just simply a quarantine period trend, that I think would be so much better for everybody in the long run, the environment, you and your health. So rather than just seeing it as a craft or as a hobby, you just really make it part of your everyday life. Yan, wala na naman.
Sorry. Thank you,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Ayun
thank,
pala yun.
thank you. Kasi minsan may dumadaan na ng motor na. All right. Thank you, teacher.
Also, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kwentuhan with you.
Yeah, we enjoyed kwentuhan.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for here talking to us. And thank you for All right, teacher. So I think pwede ka na mag-online. Ready na.
Ganun lang kabilis.
No, ready
Ganun
ako.
na. Yun na yun.
Oo, ready na. Kasi
Okay.
nag-work yung stream eh.
Ah,
But maybe what you can do, the best model, if you're trying to study it, is a subscription model.
Okay.
Parang all handmade set. Because tama yung sinabi mo at the end. Now I understand. Kasi I thought it's just a hobby lang eh. So, but when you said na it's a way of life, it needs to
Yes.
be um, something that supports a way of life moving forward. So maybe you can do a subscription model, meaning kasi it needs to be different from the face-to-face classes eh. A face-to-face class iba rin yun eh, ibang model din yun.
Yes.
In a subscription model, it's
Di
not
ba
limited.
marami,
Sorry.
ako yung tuto. Oo.
Oh, in a subscription model, it needs to be everything homemade, handmade or homemade. And then maybe every month there's a different class. You have to send
Hmm,
materials based on what's available kasi you cannot even predict it. And
mm,
then, but the subscription includes all the materials on the, yun,
on
meron
the
ka talagang parang membership site where all the videos are there, all the information.
hmm,
And then, gano'n, parang subscription kit. So, let's say this month, itong gagawin natin. Say, lip
oo.
balm this month. Gano'n. Parang gano'n.
Incense.
I like
Or,
that idea. I really like the idea of videos also because at least that makes it if the internet is not so good that particular day, they can still, turn to the videos and use it to guide them
mm-mm.
once they downloaded it, no? Oh, and
Oo.
play it. So, yeah, yeah, kita mo yan. Ako ang may take home.
Hindi, okay. Oo, okay yan, okay yan. And then, ang maganda yung mga videos mo sa Instagram eh. So, I think it will work well also for,
Anak,
uh,
lang, anak, come here. You focus on that, ha? Ganun lang yan.
Si
uh,
Husto, si Husto.
Si Husto ang madaling kakutsaba sa ganyan. But yeah, talaga Anton, okay naman yung videos ko. Oo.
yes, yes. Oh,
Good
but
habit
you
mo
need
eh.
to add your personality.
Mm-mm.
So, kasi
Hindi
wala pa nga yung face mo, okay na siya eh. So, if you add
Ah,
the personality.
totoo yun eh. Oo. Yun lang, hindi ko kayo pwede kausap na walang face. Kaya nandito yung face ko today.
Oo. Yes, yes.
Oo. That's
And then,
okay.
yeah, oh, I think you'll help out a lot of people with that, no? Yeah.
Mm-mm. Sige.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Question
thank
po.
Sorry.
you.
See you soon.
See you.
Na ulit tea party, no?
Wala na yan. Dapat virtual. Wala kayong virtual
Oo
tea
nga.
party.
Oo
Dapat
nga.
mag-virtual tea
Kita mo ba?
party.
Ang dami kong naisip
Oh,
dito
di
sa
ba?
usap na to na hindi ko naisip na
Zoom.
nagmumuni-muni.
Zoom?
Zoom,
Oh, Zoom.
Zoom. May Zoom ka, teach.
virtual, yung display exhibit ng mga kung ano-ano.
Uh,
Tapos,
Pwede, di ba?
we'll help you. We'll help you. We'll help you.
yay, thank you so much. That would be, so much help.
Uh, all right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Teacher
Thank you
Anna.
so
Thank you.
much
Thank you.
and for spending time with me. Thank you.
Yeah, kayo rin. Ikaw rin. Hi to the
Alright.
boys.
Yes, I will. Okay.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
Okay.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.